What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we'll be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Chainlink to BTC. As you guys know, the market is going crazy right now. We just saw a major retracement within all the cryptocurrencies, especially Litecoin and Bitcoin. And as we know, Litecoin didn't really explode, bullish in the past couple of days like Bitcoin and Ethereum did. So for Litecoin to be experiencing this retracement is kind of upsetting, but it is going according to plan, and I want to explain with you guys what exactly I mean by that in a couple of seconds. But furthermore, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's hodl some crypto. So as you guys can see, we're on the current coin market cap, and I really want to go into, specifics in today's video, discussing how exactly the market is panning out, my opinion on it, and why I think Litecoin is specifically following more charting than this bullish, crazy media reflected news. So as you can see in the current coin market cap, we have a market cap of $332 billion, a 24-hour volume of 113 billion, and a Bitcoin dominance of 62.7. Market is retracing for some cryptocurrencies. You can see out of the top 10, all of them are practically down except for 4. I don't really count Tether, so 3, because of the fact that Tether is a stable token, literally trades at $1 practically all the time. And you can see that the other cryptos are really down just 1 to 2%, but this is only because of consolidation. We've seen a major, move to the upside. You can see right here on the price graph, a move to the upside. Then we had this consolidation downwards, this retracement downwards, and now we're starting to consolidate back up. So yesterday we saw double digits of bearish, moves, all red across the board, and now we're starting to see a little more red, but closer to the 2 to 3%, which is much nicer to see. You can see that most of the market did tank quite a bit, really sunk our, market cap, and it shot up the 24-hour volume quite a bit. So I really do want to go into specifics now, discussing what exactly I think is happening within this market, and I want to talk to you guys more about what's going on my Patreon as well, because I think that does tie in really well, as well as some people that I've just been bumping into and who don't really know much about cryptocurrency, but just, know the bare basics. So moving on to Litecoin. So I've had a bunch of you guys on my Patreon, text me, DM me, post on my creator feed, basically telling me, or curious as to what's going to come when this halving comes, and I really wanted to give my specifics on that. I also got a lot of messages saying thanks for letting me know about this big retracement prior to it happening. They were waiting to buy in, they were getting antsy, and guess what? Then the retracement happened, and they're like, wow, I'm glad I waited. I mean, a lot of the signs kind of make sense here. Why buy when we're overbought? Why buy when we're testing a resistance? Why when you can be buying so much lower? And that is exactly what happened. It happened all over the market. So now these are great buying opportunities, honestly, like all across the board. So huge shout out to all you guys for messaging me and letting me know. I mean, I definitely read all of them, so I do appreciate it. I am pretty busy, but I try to make, as much time as I can for you guys. It's definitely not, you don't come second. So as you can see, though, we had this very interesting move right now. So come like 2 or 3 days ago, we were all the way up here, and we were noticing resistance up at that 143 level, which is interesting. So we started to test this out, and then as Bitcoin, which just loaded in, Ethereum, all broke to the upside. Litecoin didn't do that. Everybody was getting very upset to not see this crypto break, and now maybe I'm just missing something on the Bitcoin graph. Maybe there is some sort of pattern on here that I just didn't see and I missed. But in terms of Litecoin, we for sure found an ascending triangle followed by its wedge that has been on the market for 6 months now. So it's definitely here to stay. It's very strong. We're now currently testing the top of it. So when I did see this small retracement, I was anticipating and called in the past probably 2 weeks worth of videos. Easily 2 weeks worth of videos. A retracement back down to this bottom support, the top of our ascending wedge, indicating a great buying opportunity for us to buy in and then ride the puppy right back up to 140, because I think if you guys, or I don't want to tell you guys what to do, but if indeed you buy at this level, this is a great opportunity in my opinion. I personally would be buying in at this level right here because I think truthfully we're going to go right back up to $140. So don't feel bad if you did buy in at 140 up at the top here a couple of days ago, mainly because I think we're headed right back up there very, very, very soon. So I wouldn't get too discouraged if you're investing short term. Short term, I am anticipating this crypto Litecoin to go whoop right back up, retest like this, and then eventually experience a breakout closer to potentially the halving, if not a retracement. Now, in terms of the question, so what's going to happen as we lead to the, the halving? What's going to happen after the halving? The halving is in August, mid-August. That pretty much is right at the cusp of this, ascending triangle. So very interesting. But I always say the market, people buy the rumor, sell the news. I think we're going to start to head up now from this price level right back up to our, price where we're going to head right back up to around the date of the halving, and then we could potentially see the sell-off and a retracement back down lower. That's kind of what I'm gambling on right now. It could look something like this. Don't want to discourage you, but understand that all of this leading up to the halving is a great opportunity to be making some really good cash on Litecoin if you know what you're doing. So it's definitely something to check out now. Also, if you guys were interested and you wanted to get exclusive charts, like this call was huge, guys. Not many people knew that this was going to happen on all the other YouTube channels except for here at my Patreon. So if you guys want calls like this and you want to know when to be buying, want to be selling, definitely make sure to check out my Patreon. That's the only place you can get. It's the first link in the description to get my content, my exclusive, chartings here. Eventually, I may just start posting, private videos to my Patreon. I can't do it this summer only because I'm super busy with work full time. But come the school year, which is literally in August, so we have 1 month, so it's really not that long away. But I will be making another tier for, private videos for Patreon, answering all you guys' specific questions. So I'm definitely going to be upgrading that and revamping my Patreon because I think it's getting kind of outdated in this ever so growing age of technology and era. So that's going to be pretty awesome. But in the meantime, in our interim, if you do want to take advantage of this and take advantage of when these buying opportunities happen, definitely make sure to check that out. It's the first link in the description and it does help support the channel. Shout out to everybody who's already a supporter of the Patreon. We're trying to get it to 100 patrons by the end of the summer. But you can see we're heading up right now to around 140. That's where I think we are. That's going to be right at the cusp of the halving. Buy the rumor, sell the news. We're going to head up, and then there's a good chance for that dip. But moving on to the other cryptocurrencies, I want to check out Bitcoin, which is also starting to hit retracement. Interesting, though, is because Bitcoin is, now it looks more so like we can chart Litecoin, and it references or foreshadows what Litecoin, or what Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to do. So Litecoin hit this bottom support, and now we're starting to trend upwards. You can see that Bitcoin doesn't really have much of a support here, but now it's starting to trend upwards, and I can't really see any sort of reason for it to continue. Like, I'm trying to find any sort of, support or resistance at that current price level, and I'm not seeing much. It is very close, though. Very close to its previous purple, but that's already been drawn on, so it looks like that's where it's hitting right now. I'm going to just try to zoom this out so we can actually, see this better. But you can see it looks like it's kind of just having some resistance right here, testing out. Honestly, for the most part, Bitcoin needs to retrace more. I honestly think it does. Near overbought. Once again, it can still pump higher, but I think truthfully and honestly, it does need a retracement. It will even out the market and make it a lot easier for this crypto to trade higher in the long term. Lastly, out of the blue chip cryptos, and then we'll wrap things up with Chainlink. Ethereum looks great. Very, very, very interesting. It's very funny also to see that, Ethereum pumped all the way up to 365 and then retraced all the way back down to practically where it was trending before. So we have this uptrend drawn in. Actually, that's not true. So we have a bottom support that we were tracking. Now you can see there's a new uptrend that's now taken place on Ethereum. And it looks like what Ethereum wants to do is either consolidate out like this, or it's going to go like this, and then we could see movement upwards. But for the most part, I think we're in a bull market, guys. We're finally in a bull market, so things are looking great. Movements are happening. Big plays are moving. So all in all, I think it's a great long-term investment strategy. Now, lastly, and here we go again, markets are starting to consolidate up, and Chainlink is doing the exact opposite. This is definitely a coin that is something to take advantage of, mainly because of the fact that, Litecoin is starting to pump higher, Bitcoin is starting to pump higher, and guess what Chainlink's doing? It is starting to reverse. So Kaluma, great observation. This is a coin that acts inversely to the, the social norms of cryptocurrency, those bigger cryptos, the major ones, the ones that are here to stay. When those pump higher, money leaves Chainlink, and the market starts to retrace. But otherwise, guys, that's going to sum up today's video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, check out my Patreon, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.